So, Christina, tell us a bit of your story. How did you become a Christian?
Well, I grew up going to church. Somehow ended up so I'm born in New Zealand. Somehow ended up in a Presbyterian church when I was quite young. But even though I grew up in church, I also grew up in an abusive home. So I had a stepdad. My dad walked out before I was born and had a stepdad that was quite abusive, physically, sexually, abusive with my mom, things like that. So church was an escape. And in this Presbyterian church was where I learned about David, the Bible. I learned my first memory verse, Matthew 6:33, but I just didn't know Jesus though. Fast forward to when I was about 11. My stepdad came here for 2 weeks, came to Australia, went back to New Zealand and said we should move here. And then we did. And my stepdad's brother has a church here. And so we started going. So myself and another sister, so I grew up with two sisters. We moved here with my stepdad, started going to my uncle's church, and then found out that my stepdad was having an affair with a lady in that church, and that's why he wanted to move us here, things like that. So needless to say, I hated church. My mom came over, and my other sister did too, and confronted my stepdad about it all, kicked us out, ended up in a refuge, DD refuge, things like that. So pretty much it was just still going to church, but just, home was not that great. High school years just struggled just with life, hated school, got into pills and alcohol and things like that. So fast forward to about when I was 20, I had a friend in high school who had a brother. And well, my friend, her parents were pastors on fire for God, real legit Christians and at the time. And she had a brother, and the brother started crushing on my sister. They were crushing on each other. They got together, and my sister got saved through that relationship. And so she came to the Lord, and then she led me to God. She would actually Bible bash me, and I hated it. So I was like, she actually got more annoying when she got saved, But I found that I was going out, I was about 19 at the time, I was going out clubbing, trying to make this weekend better than last weekend, and never was, And next thing I know, I quit drinking, I've stopped clubbing. Looking back, I know people were praying for me. And then, one day I decided to buy a guitar, and a brand new guitar, had a brand new tuner, and I tried to tune it, but there was one string that kept breaking. And it broke 3 times. The next thing I know, I'm on my knees asking Jesus into my life. And I guess everything that my sister was saying to me kind of sank in a bit. And I guess people, in church, seeds were still sowing. And so through that time, at that time, I'm just in my room, just crying out to God. And I just felt like weight lifted, So next thing I know, instead of outside with boxes of vodka, I'm 5 Bibles, God delivered me from prescription pills to a point where I had to take Panadol,